So one of my favorite videos to do is going through all the new records and books I've collected, two of my biggest loves in my life, and today I have some good stacks to show off. I'm especially excited about all the books. I also have an unboxing for a VCLT as well at the end of the video, so that will be a lot of fun. Firstly, let's get through some other stuff that I'm really excited to show. So I'm going to be jumping back and forth a little bit. I will do timestamps for specific types of things if you want to see certain things at certain times. So I didn't do record store day like most people in the vinyl community on YouTube who do record store day picks and stuff like that, because I did it last year and I just found that it was a very expensive hobby, record store day. More expensive than what vinyl usually can be like. So I already stretch my finances to be able to collect records, and I was like, I'm not stretching any further. So I decided not to do record store day, but instead what I did do is on record store day, instead of trying to get all the different picks that I wanted for that release, I decided just to go to a local record store and pick up a record that I've been wanting to get for a while that came out last year, one of my favorite albums of last year, because I still wanted to support my local store on the special day, but I just decided to buy one record that I've been saving up for, because you can't find it anywhere at a relatively cheap price. So I got Fiona Apple's Fetch the Boltcutters. So this record, super beautiful, amazing record. I really love Fiona Apple, and I specifically really like this album. This is one of my favorite albums by her, and it came out last year, like I said. This is a 180 double vinyl package. I found it at a store for $70, and I was like, oh, should I just get it? Because I do want to get this record, and I just felt like there was never going to be a point in time where I could get it for cheap in the future. Not for a long time. I just bit the bullet and just purchased this, but you'll see, I didn't get that many records lately. The guy that runs the store told me that it came in priced at 80 and he brought it down to 70. I was like, 80? But the fact that the record is being brought down to 70 and it was meant to go for 80 is ridiculous. What is inside? So we got some paper inner sleeves and a little booklet. Okay. Oh cool, so it's just a little booklet with all the different lyrics to each of her songs, which is nice. This is actually really nice. I like a little lyrics booklet because I love to sing along when I listen to music. I'm like that annoying person that won't stop singing along to music. I don't know. I'm trying to buy less just because I don't want to give in to these exceedingly high prices. But it's like I can't just not buy records at all because all records are expensive now. So next I'm going to talk about my classics collection. I would love to do a video just going through all my classics, talking about them, what my favorites are, the editions I have, why I love them, because I just love classics. Classics are easily like my favorite type of book. Very broad type of book to like. So I love classics. I want to keep collecting them as much as I can, and I have a little stack here of the books that I've been collecting recently because book prices are fine. Book prices, they're not too expensive, so I don't mind collecting these guys. So the first book that I've gotten is The Picture of Dorian Gray. This edition, oh, I already love orange penguin classics. They're my favorite editions of classics that I could get just because they're so cute on my shelf. I just read this, as you can see, I've tabbed it. I just read this because I was reading it for the book club that I have with my friends that I do. This was the latest pick that we read, and this edition was just enlightening to read because there is this chronology at the beginning of the book that just goes into Oscar Wilde's life and what his life entailed. And I had no idea that he went to trial for being homosexual at the time that he was alive. This edition was great because not only did it have that chronology at the beginning, but it also had a bunch of notes at the back of the book. And the notes in this edition explained a lot of the differences and changes that Oscar Wilde made in relation to the historical context of this book. Oh, it was so fascinating to read. I did just love this book as well, but I'm going to talk more about this specific book in another video that I have coming up that I'm planning. So I don't want to go into too much detail of how it went, but specifically buying this version and reading it, oh, the best decision I've ever made in my life. The next book I got, I'm so excited about. I just stare at it nearly every day and I'm just like, I'm so excited to read you. It is Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. This book, classic Russian literature. The history me and this book have is that my best friend, whose favorite book is this book, he gave me his copy to read because he thought I would love it, and I'm pretty sure I will love it. But the thing is, the copy he gave me was a very old copy, and so the translation translation, I believe, of that copy is not the best translation you could currently read in the translations available. And so instead, when I was in the store the other day, I saw this beautiful version. This cover, this spine, oh, it's just the right size. It's just everything. It's so big and bulky. Oh, I'm so excited to read it. The words are so laid out perfectly on each page. Everything about this edition I'm loving. It's a different, more updated translation as well. By the way, this edition has a new translation by Michael R. Katz, so I'm really excited to read this. I'll be able to give my friend back his copy and just read this edition and tab the hell out of it, highlight the hell out of it, because I'm just ready to devour this thing. The next book I got was 1984 by George Orwell. So I have already read this classic, of course. I have already read this book. Oh, I love this book. I love it more with time. When I initially read it, I was in my teenage years. I believe I was 16, and I wasn't the best reader at that time. Like, I wanted to be a great reader, but I wasn't. And I just didn't appreciate books as much as I should have appreciated them. In hindsight, I realized that. And so I want to reread some classics that I think had great potential when I was younger, but it didn't click for me because I wasn't smart enough. I think I'm a little smarter now. Maybe I'm still not smart enough to fully understand these books, but I think I'm gonna get a different experience out of these classics, so I give them a reread. So I never had my own copy of this book, and so I decided to pick up my own edition because I love tabbing now. Tabbing is my new favorite thing, and I just love this blacked out version. If you've read this book, then you'll understand why it's blacked out. Censorship. I just love it. Pops out of the page, which is cool. And then the back is really different as well to these original orange penguins, is what I call them. The next classic I got from downstairs in the library swap in my new apartment building. I still have a library swap in my current building, so that's great. I am happy to pick up a secondhand book, try it out, see how it goes, and give away some of my own. So when I was giving away some of my own that I had from my move, I decided to have a look through the books that were in my apartment building, and I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, give it to me. I need more pink spines. But secondly, I also want to read this book as well. So this book is the same edition as my Wuthering Heights that I have by Emily Bronte, actually, but I didn't have any other pink penguins in my collection, so I'm really excited to own this, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. This book obviously inspired the amazing, iconic movie that we all know and love, so I really am excited to give this a read. I love to read the source material of important movies. I just want to get around to all the stuff you should get around to. That's how I approach my reading mostly. You know, if in doubt, pick up a classic. So this is sort of in that vein. And then the last classic that I've recently got that I bought firsthand because I specifically wanted this edition, it is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Ooh, look at this edition. I already have my own edition of this book. I don't like it. I think it's ugly. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm gonna give it away to one of my friends because guess what? This is the book I'm choosing for my club when it comes around to my pick of what we're reading. I'm picking this book. I don't think any of them watch my videos religiously, so hopefully none of them will know ahead of time that this is the book we're reading, but I'm letting you all know this is what we're going to be reading for my book club with my friends. And so I wanted to get my own edition that I loved. And so in a similar vein to 1984, I have already read this book and I liked it, but similar to 1984, I gave both of these 3 out of 5 when I originally read them. And there's a problem with that because with a 3 out of 5, a lot of the time it's like, I feel like it's got potential, but maybe I wasn't ready for the book, or I needed to read it at a different time in my life. I liked it enough to give it a reread, and I'm hoping I can give it a 4 with next time I'm rereading it, or a 5. We'll see what happens. But I definitely know with this book, I didn't understand what was going on. I read this book also at the age of 16, and it was a lot at the time. Like, Sylvia Plath had a very, very intense life. She was severely depressed. She ended up committing suicide at the age of 30, I believe. And this is her only novel she ever released. And so I definitely need to give this a reread. It's just a absolute classic. And my original review for this book was, I've never read so many metaphors in my life. And that honestly just sounds like someone that didn't care enough to put effort into understanding this book, like just not ready for it. And so I need to give this book a reread in a mindset where I'm ready to understand what's happening. I definitely feel like I'm a completely different person from 8 years ago, and I'll be able to appreciate this book a lot more. And being able to read it and discuss it with all my friends while we're all having a quarter life crisis together will be the best thing ever, I think. So those are all the classics that I've acquired. I'm now going to talk about the rest of the records that I've gotten. So I've got 3 records records that are under the umbrella of Kira's Reactor. They all relate to the music that I've been reacting to over on that channel and that I've been discovering the last year and really having a lot of fun with. It's all like hard rock stuff and heavy metal stuff. I think this is the first one I got out of all three. I got Uriah Heep, actually. I don't even know what this record's called. Oh, Downunda. Australia, Down Under. So yeah, I got this record. I got this secondhand for about 25 bucks I found it for. Pretty good pickup. This is a double LP, 25 bucks secondhand. Like, thank God I can find something for $25 in this country. Like, I needed it. This has a nice gatefold with this beautiful red image in the middle. A little tattered records that maybe need a new inner sleeve, honestly. I don't think those inner sleeves are doing too well anymore. It has Gypsy on it, which I really liked the sound of when I gave that song a listen. And what was the other song? I don't think it has the other song I listened to, but it also has a couple of other songs that were highly recommended to me when I was getting recommendations for Uriah Heep. So at last we are going to make it to the place where it's sunny at Christmas. That's Australia. After nearly 5 years running around the world, the thrill of going to a country for the first time is back as we prepare for our Australian trip. This album is only going to be released to you to commemorate the visit, but it's one we enjoy because it's a package of our short so far happy history. Hearing songs like Gypsy and High Priestess after so long was a gasp, but the secret, I think, is in the complete package. The songs all represent stages our music have gone through up until the recent past, and whilst some of you will miss your particular favourites, the selection, I think, traces our steps in an interesting way. It has become perhaps your own collection of Heep sounds, and we hope naturally that you will enjoy it and those special concerts in November. Ken Hensley in October of 1974. Really happy to have this. It's like my own Australian Heep. So another great pickup I got for $30 was this. Oh yeah. This record is obviously Rising by Rainbow. It has become one of my favorite albums of all time since discovering it over on Kira's Reactor. I absolutely love this album, and Stargazer has become like the song of the last year for me. And so I just am so happy to own this. It's once again another gatefold showing off the guys in black and white. And it's also got the Stargazer lyrics on the side here, so they know what's up. But I'm honestly just happy to own this record on vinyl. Like, the fact that my dad found it randomly and just sent me a photo, I was like, oh, yes, please get it for me. Like, that was the best day of my life. I'm really excited for this to be in my collection. It definitely feels more like a Kira collection now that I have this in my collection. Like, oh, I didn't think that I would own this anytime soon. I was looking for this record for months. Couldn't find it anywhere secondhand. And then my dad comes through. Just comes through. And then the last record in this little bunch before the unboxing, the final record, is Black Sabbath's Paranoid. I had to get it. So I already have their debut. This one I got firsthand, and this is also the 50th anniversary of this record. So I will probably be picking up all the 50th anniversary editions of these records because it just makes sense to me. It's easy to find, it's easy to collect, and I'm discovering them on the years of like their 50th anniversaries of these albums, so it makes sense to own the 50th anniversaries in my opinion. So I'm really happy to have these. It really like signifies not only the amazingness of this record and the legacy that lives on 50 years later, but it also relates to when I specifically discovered them at the 50-year mark of these records being out, which I think is very special. So I'm very happy to own this and add this into my Black Sabbath collection. So here it is, once again in a paper sleeve. It has the Vertigo on it, which I really like. So before I get to the final record I want to show today, which is an unboxing, I will be showing you a few other books I've collected that aren't classics, but are still books that I'm really excited about. Firstly, maybe a modern day classic. It's The Remains of the Day by Ishiguro. So this is the winner of the Booker Prize. This guy won the Nobel Prize for Literature as well. This guy's just amazing. So I've read Never Let Me Go. I think I read that maybe 2 years ago now, and then I've been reading this book currently. I will be finishing it tonight. I've only got this amount to go, like 15 pages left. But once again, talking about this in a different future video, so look out for that. So I'm not going to talk too much about what I actually think of the book, but I am really happy with these editions they're bringing out, these books. You've got the Never Let Me Go in the blue, and then his new book, Clara and the Sun, I believe it's called, in this orange here. So I wanted to start collecting these books because I really love these new editions they're bringing out, but I have to wait to get his new book, Clara and the Sun, because it's too big. I want them all to be the right size. And so I will just be getting this and Never Let Me Go in the blue, hopefully soon. And then I'll be able to start my little Ishiguro collection. Ishiguro, and it smells great. I love books that smell good. Next books I got were a couple that I also got from downstairs in the library swap, along with Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So I also got Roald Dahl, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I've never seen the movie, I never read the book. I need to give it a read because I do own all of his other books nearly, and I've read nearly all of them, but I never read this one. Maybe I did and I forgot, I don't know, but I never owned it. Literally no words nearly and all pictures, so it should be a little cute, fun read. But you know, just gotta pick up the Dahl because it's just a need. It's a necessity in the collection. And the other book I picked up was called Chinese Cinderella by Adeline Yenma. So this is a book that I read when I was younger as well, but I picked it up from the library, like I borrowed it, and so I never had my own copy. So I now have my own copy, and I am absolutely in love with this edition. This is like really small, just to show you the difference between a Penguin Classic and this. Like it's a bit smaller even than a Penguin Classic, but not like a pocket sort of size book. It is a little bigger than that. It's just a beautiful little size. It's like secondhand, so it just has this real nice like red feeling to it, this loved feeling to it. I'm so happy to pick this up for free downstairs. Like this is great, and to have my own copy of this book and to give it a reread soon because I completely forgot what happened in this book, but I remember I liked it. I was really happy I read it when I was younger, so yeah. And then I also got for secondhand, I think I found this in an op shop for like $6 when I was on holiday actually recently. It is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. So this book is a horror. Yes, I want to read more horror. That's all I want to do in my life. I really love this edition. Once again, this is like the video of like book editions because I need to get more into the mindset of buying books that I love the look of, because then I want to read them more, and I love my bookshelf a lot more if the books on it are pretty. So I'm really happy to pick this up because it's green. It's a beautiful shade of green, and I'm really excited to read it because, like I said, it's a horror. I think I'll be really interested in giving this a read, and I think it's about like a haunted house in a sense, so it should be good. I don't know too much about it because I do want to go into it blind enough. And then the last book I got was, you guessed it, it's a gay romance. I can't go a day without talking about gay romance, and today it's going to be Rainbow Rowell's Any Way the Wind Blows. This is a young adult read, so I don't really read young adult because I find it to be not my style at all. I think I've really grown out of young adult in recent years, or in the recent several years, but I can't not read these. And this is the final book, I believe, in this trilogy. So I've already read the first two books. But the thing is, I loved the first book, and the second book was very meh for me, so I don't have high hopes for this, but maybe that's for the best. Maybe I had too high of an expectation for the second one, and I like this one a lot more, hopefully. It literally just came out, and I got it for 15 bucks. I'm so happy. I hope that everything ends well for Baz and Simon here. So that is everything that I've gotten where I actually know what it is, and now we're gonna open up a VCLT that was sent by a lovely subscriber, Victor. He's been watching my videos for the longest time. He watches the videos on both of my channels, I believe. Hello, Victor. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for sending this record. I'm so excited to open it up. Here it is. He sent it all the way from the US, like most of the records that I receive are all the way from the US, and it was finally able to get here. It's been on a bit of a journey, like most records that are sent over to me as a VCLT, and apparently he's really happy about it. Like, he loves this record and he hopes that I love it too. I know it's something to do with metal, but I have no idea what, really. All these records are always like so well packaged. Okay, great. Here it is. Let's find out together what it is. Okay, what is Speak of the Devil, Ozzy Osbourne? Enjoy this great album. Thank you. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the? This record is freaking me out. This is so cool. Okay. Of course. So this actually makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna put the actual records down for a second, just hold this up, but this actually makes so much sense. Victor loves Black Sabbath. I love Black Sabbath. Like, definitely my most happy reactions are to Black Sabbath because they're just like going to be my favorite metal band forever. Like, I already know it. No one's gonna beat them. I love Black Sabbath. And the reason I mostly love Black Sabbath is because of this man right here. It's hard to talk seriously about him when he looks like this. But yeah, I love Ozzy Osbourne. He is one of my favorite singers I've ever come across, along with Dio. Both of them are amazing. But Ozzy Osbourne, he's such a character. I love his personality. He's so funny. And I think he just looks like absolutely hilarious on this. He's so young here. It's so crazy to see him so young. I'm so used to old Ozzy Osbourne. Wow. Amazing gatefold. I love a portrait on the gatefold. That's the best thing ever. These shots are just amazing. Him with these Dracula teeth, these vampire teeth. Jeez. Oh my god, look at those Dracula teeth. Best. So speak of the devil, I have no idea what this record is at all. Recorded live at the Ritz, New York, 27th of September, 82. This is a live record? Okay, no. Yes, it is a bunch of Sabbath tunes. This is going to be cool. This is awesome. In 82, I don't know where Black Sabbath are at that point in their careers. I'm only at 71 or 72 right now, and I'm trying to not spoil myself too much with moving forward because I want to have the experience of listening to it for the first time like people did back in 72 and 71 and 70. So I don't want to know too much about the later years of Black Sabbath, but it is cool to know that Ozzy Osbourne was still performing live stuff by Sabbath in 82. Like NIB is on here, Sweet Leaf, Fairies Wear Boots, War Pigs. Like I know all of those songs, and Paranoid, all those songs from the first couple of albums I've now listened to by Sabbath, and I enjoy all those tracks so much. So happy to own this. Thank you so much, Victor. Like I just talked about how I'm improving my Sabbath collection, and here you are helping me out. Like you knew what was up. Like you knew what I needed, and here it is. I'm so happy. I now have 3. I'm gonna classify this as Sabbath because he's mostly performing Sabbath tunes here. 3 Sabbath albums now to add to my collection. Cool. Thank you so much. You knew I would love this. I do love this. This is like one of my favorite presents that I've ever received. Thank you so much, Victor. Oh my god, this is amazing. I'm so happy with this. What a beautiful record. I can't wait to show this to my boyfriend. I'm just gonna like pop it into his face and scare him. It'd be great. I can't hide the emotions I have about this band and about Ozzy. They're just amazing. I love them so much. I'm so happy about this. This is so cool. Live Ozzy Osbourne. So this is a double LP with some cool bats on the inner sleeve. Damn, these are like the coolest inner sleeves that I have on record right now that come with a record. This is so cool. So with that said, thank you so much, Victor, and I hope that everybody watching has enjoyed watching me talk about all the new records and books I've been collecting and what I've been into recently, and I look forward to seeing you all soon on this channel with some future videos that I've been planning and I'm really excited about. Look forward to that, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Bye everybody! Bye Ozzy!